Alright, so I apologize. Glitch number one on day number one of videos. These iPads have so little storage, the ones that the school bought us, so I had to delete a bunch of stuff because that video stopped because I didn't have enough storage. So, back to this. If I were smushing these together, I would be giving them a common denominator. I would be multiplying this one by x squared on top and bottom. And I would be multiplying this one by x squared plus 2xh plus h squared on top and bottom. Then they would have the same denominator, and I would combine them. That is the long way, that is the rigorous way, that is the way that's going to cause more trouble and open you up for more mistakes. Instead, I'm focusing on the entire fraction, not just these two tiny fractions, but the entire fraction. I'm looking at everything inside of it, and I'm finding the LCD. So x squared plus 2xh plus h squared, and 1. Okay? I'm multiplying top and bottom of the entire fraction by the LCD. And remember, multiplying by something on top and bottom is equivalent to multiplying by 1. I can multiply anything by 1 that I want to, and I haven't changed its value. Okay? The thing is, I just have to be careful and make sure that I distribute on top. So I'm going to multiply this guy also. Let's see, how can I squeeze this in here? I'm going to go over here. I'm going to multiply that guy also. Now watch the magic. Let me find a good color to do this in because it's quite magical. Let's see. How about bright green? Okay. Notice here, x squared plus 2xh plus h squared on top and bottom. I can cross that out. Notice here, x squared on top and bottom. And by top and bottom, I'm picturing this over 1 and this over 1, right? So I'm doing this times this. X squared I can cancel out. And then here, there's nothing I can cancel out because the bottom is 1. So what did that accomplish for us? That got rid of our fractions. So just focus on one piece at a time. Numerator before the minus sign. All I have left is 15x squared. There's no more fraction. Minus. Now be careful here. Make sure you're going to distribute here. So numerator after the minus sign, I have 15 times the polynomial, right? All over denominator, I have just everything, right? I have the h, and then I'm going to multiply top times top. So times x squared times the polynomial. And then this would be over 1, right? But again, that's wasting my ink. I don't really need to do anything with that. You might be tempted to do multiple steps in one step. I wouldn't recommend that, at least until you've practiced this without doing that first. So now I'm going to distribute the negative 15. This is a minus 15, right? Make sure you're distributing, oops, that's an H. Make sure you're distributing the entire thing, minus and 15. Bottom doesn't change. Okay. And then again, watch what happens. I can cross off anything that doesn't have an H, right? So I'm going to write this out in more steps than we probably need, but I just want to make sure everybody's with us. Okay, and then now I cannot cross out this H with this H. I cannot cross out this H with this H because this is attached with subtraction and this means division, right? So these are connected with division. We know that division and subtraction don't cancel each other out. What cancels out with division? Okay, hopefully you said multiplication. I'm sure you all did. So how am I going to turn this numerator into a multiplication problem? I already have multiplication right there. So how am I going to turn the numerator into a multiplication problem? I'm going to take an H out. Oh, Alexa's talking.
Here's your reminder. Water plants.
She's going to say it again.
Here's your reminder. Water plants.
So that's the joy of teaching from home, huh? I use Alexa basically as my post-it notes when I'm home. All right, so now these are both attached with multiplication. I'm actually going to do this in pink because I really want to emphasize this. These are both attached with multiplication, and this division sign, or this bar, means divide. So now I can cross off those H's, and then I'm left with that. And typically, if we can write something in a more compact form, we're going to do that. So oftentimes, we'll take that negative out of the top. It just looks nicer, okay? So I factored a negative out of the top. And then also we can factor this back. We had it in factored form. Look all the way up here. We had it in factored form and we multiplied it out. So we can factor that back to the factored form. And this is our final answer, okay? Sorry that was in 2 parts and that was a little bit longer than 15 minutes. They won't often be longer than 15 minutes.